Good morning, everyone. Today I want to introduce you to something remarkable, a 500-year-old Japanese art form called Kintsugi. At its surface, it is a technique for repairing broken pottery with gold-dusted lacquer. But as we'll discover together, it's so much more than that. Kintsugi is a philosophy, a way of seeing, and perhaps most powerfully, a counter-argument to everything our perfection-obsessed culture tells us. Let's begin. Think about this for a moment. When a ceramic bowl shatters, our instinct is to throw it away, or hide the repair so no one can see the damage. But Kintsugi does the exact opposite. It fills every crack, every chip, every fracture line with pure gold, making the damage the most visible, most precious part of the object. The breakage doesn't diminish the bowl's value. It becomes its defining feature. That's a radical idea, and it's where we begin today. What if everything we try to hide about our own cracks is actually what makes us remarkable? To understand Kintsugi, we have to go back to late 15th century Japan, a time when the tea ceremony was at the height of its cultural importance. Let me tell you the story that legend says started it all. It involves a shogun, a broken Chinese tea bowl, and a repair job so ugly it sparked an artistic revolution. Picture the scene. It's the late 1400s, and Ashikaga Yoshimasa, the 8th shogun of the Ashikaga shogunate, has a prized Chinese tea bowl. It breaks. He sends it to China for repair, which was the logical thing to do at the time. But when it comes back, it's been fixed with these ugly metal staples. Imagine crude metal brackets drilled right through the ceramic. Yoshimasa hated how it looked, so he turned to Japanese artisans and essentially said, "Do better." They developed a technique using urushi lacquer mixed with gold powder. And here's the fascinating part. The repaired bowl wasn't just fixed, it was elevated. It became a treasure. This single, dissatisfied customer sparked an entire artistic tradition that has endured for 5 centuries. You can't talk about Kintsugi without talking about wabi-sabi. If Kintsugi is the technique, wabi-sabi is the worldview behind it. Wabi-sabi is notoriously hard to translate, but at its core, it's an aesthetic philosophy that finds profound beauty in the imperfect, the impermanent, and the incomplete. Think about how different that is from what most of us grew up with, where symmetry, flawlessness, and the appearance of newness are prized above all else. In the wabi-sabi worldview, the crack in the teacup isn't a defect to hide, it's the most interesting thing about the cup. Kintsugi takes that philosophy and literally makes it shine in gold. This is where we start to see that Kintsugi isn't just about pottery anymore. Let me walk you through the traditional process, because it's important to understand just how painstaking and deliberate this craft is. Step 1. The broken pieces are bonded with urushi lacquer. This is a natural tree sap that's been used in Japan for thousands of years. Step 2. The piece is placed in a warm, humid environment for days while the lacquer cures. Then the seams are sanded down. Step 3. A second layer of lacquer, this time tinted red called Bengara urushi, is applied as a base. Step 4. While that layer is still tacky, pure gold powder is dusted onto the seams and it bonds permanently. Step 5. After final curing and polishing, the piece is complete. Notice something. At no point is anyone trying to hide the break. Every step is designed to celebrate it. The entire process can take weeks for a single bowl. That patience itself is part of the philosophy. So far, we've been talking about ceramics. But the reason Kintsugi has captured the global imagination isn't because people suddenly care deeply about pottery repair. It's because of what it says about us, about resilience, about the stories we tell about our own damage. Let's move beyond the bowl and talk about what Kintsugi means for how we live. Here's where Kintsugi moves from craft to life philosophy. Think about your own life, the setbacks, the losses, the moments that felt like they shattered you. Our culture tells us to hide those cracks, to present as flawless, but Kintsugi proposes something radically different. What if those cracks, once healed, become the most valuable part of who you are? There's a Japanese proverb, Nana korobi ya oki, fall 7 times, rise 8. It's the same idea. Resilience isn't about never breaking, it's about what you do with the pieces. In therapy, in coaching, in how we raise children, the Kintsugi metaphor has become powerful precisely because it gives us a way to see our struggles not as shameful, but as the very material of our growth. You don't have to pretend you were never broken. Your gold-filled cracks tell a truer, more beautiful story. I'd be doing this topic a disservice if I didn't address the tensions. Even historically, there's a dark irony. Collectors became so obsessed with kintsugi that some were accused of deliberately breaking valuable pottery just so it could be repaired with gold. That's the paradox, isn't it? The art that celebrates authentic damage gets undermined when damage is artificially manufactured. Fast forward to today, and we see a related problem. After the devastating 2011 Tohoku earthquake, many Japanese people turned to kintsugi to restore cherished ceramics damaged in the disaster, a genuinely moving application of the craft. But that same period also sparked a wave of commercialized, mass-produced kintsugi-style products using quick epoxy and gold paint. The philosophy gets flattened into an Instagram aesthetic. I raise this not to diminish kintsugi, but because the tension itself is instructive. Authenticity isn't easy. Real transformation, whether of pottery or of the self, takes time, skill, and honesty. There are no shortcuts. I want to leave you with this line. We don't know who said it first, but it captures the essence of everything we've explored today. Kintsugi teaches us that the point is not to become flawless. The point is to stop seeing your flaws as something to hide. Whether you're leading a team, building a career, navigating a relationship, or simply trying to be kinder to yourself, the gold is already in the cracks. You just have to stop hiding them. Thank you.